Hi, welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. In this video, we're going to learn the expansion to flick 'em up, Stallion Canyon. If you'd like to see a video explaining the rules to the base game, I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. But now it's time to saddle up and head into the canyon. So join me at the table and let's learn how to play. The expansion comes with the components you see here: 2 canyons, 2 buildings, 2 new cowboys, Anita and Laura, a variety of tokens, a ramp, and the main thematic addition you'll find: horses. Your cowboys will be able to capture, tame, and ride them. You also get a new book with 5 new scenarios and 3 practice field setups, where you can get training on the new elements of the game that are explained in detail on these 3 pages, which we're going to go over right now. The horses in the game will either be wild or domesticated. A wild horse has no bridle, like we see on this horse, and the bridles are simply elastics, which come with the game. The only way to catch and domesticate a wild horse is to lasso it, as we'll see. But these horses don't want to be tampered with, so if a cowboy ends up within 1 horse length of a horse, it will rear up on its hind legs, which makes it even harder to catch. However, when the horse moves or is caught, it will return to all 4s. Each time the clock moves forward an hour, the horses move by advancing them forward 1 horse length. Should they encounter an obstacle, they turn 180 degrees and finish their movement. If a cowboy has a lasso in its inventory, then it can attempt to catch a wild horse. You do this by using an action to place the lasso to the left or right of the cowboy at a distance of 1 bullet and flicking it. You catch the horse if the lasso hits no other game elements and any part of the horse's legs are inside this space of the lasso here. You then put an elastic bridle on the horse in your team's color and put the cowboy who caught it into the stirrups. You may then freely turn the horse in any direction. Once a horse has a bridle, only a cowboy of that team's color can ride it. This cowboy could not. But the horse stays domesticated with the bridle even if it doesn't have a rider anymore. We saw that a cowboy can mount a horse by lassoing it, but a team cannot lasso a horse it currently has domesticated. Instead, to mount a domesticated horse, a cowboy from its team must use a move action, flicking the disc towards the horse's legs. The mount is successful if the disc sits at any point between the horse's legs or passes directly through. You then place the cowboy on the horse and can freely turn it in any direction. To dismount, use a move action, placing the movement disc on either side of the horse and flicking it through the horse's legs. The dismount is successful as long as the disc passes all the way through and doesn't hit any other gameplay elements. When riding a horse, treat it like cowboy movement, except with a single move action, you perform 2 back-to-back flicks. If a horse has been domesticated but does not have a rider, then a cowboy from the other team can steal the horse by successfully targeting it with the lasso. It then removes the bridle, replacing it with one from their team, and then mounting the horse as usual. When a scenario includes high shot rules, the ramp is used when a cowboy chooses to shoot at a rider on horseback. Place the ramp to the left or right of the shooting cowboy at a distance of 1 bullet, then place and flick the bullet from any area of the bottom portion of the ramp. The shot is successful if the rider falls off the horse. Horses do not take damage, so if a horse falls over, simply stand it back up. And if the shooter has the Winchester rifle, place it on the ramp when taking the shot. These are the canyons, and they allow the cowboys to ride long distances between separate locations. If a scenario includes canyons, you can travel through them by flicking your movement disc all the way through the support blocks of the appropriate canyon. If any part of the disc stops between the 2 support blocks, the cowboy is in the canyon, so place the cowboy on one of the support blocks. For its next move action, which could be that turn, you can finish your travel through the canyon by placing the movement disc on one side of the canyon and flicking through. Any number of cowboys can be in a canyon at the same time, but duels will not take place there. Also, if required, the scenario will indicate whether or not you have to travel the canyon by horseback. Canyons also allow you to play scenarios that cover 2 separate tables. If you don't have a second table for the scenario, you can always just place the 2 towns on the same table, separated by canyons. Either way, entering a canyon successfully on one table gives you a free exit movement flick through the canyon on the other side. And those are all the rules required to play the scenarios in Stallion Canyon. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to put them in the comments below and I'll gladly answer them as soon as I get a chance. But until the next episode, thanks for watching.